Oh, I guess she called us, or Paul is requesting us from something else. Do you want to, okay, let's go.
Recording in progress.
You have to get one of those off. Haitian Belles. Now, watch, share, love. Let's see. And then my song goes up first, ladies. So we're being recorded on the device itself, and then we'll be recorded on Facebook Live. Okay, perfect. Okay. Oh, okay, much better. Is it Paulie? Paul?
No, it's Paul.
Okay, perfect. All right, here we go. Live. Yes, we are live. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. It's your girl, Anaya A, and we are live here on a very powerful night and a powerful platform with two beautiful sisters, Haitian American sisters. They're going to tell you a lot more about themselves. My job is just to inform you on what's going on in our communities, interview our people, and connect you with the latest and greatest events. So right now, let's listen to the one and only Felicia Ross, Kosa, and we'll be right back. It's your girl, Anaya A, on the Anaya A Show. Tell a friend you're watching, and let's work together. You wanna show my All right, all right. And we are back. We are back. We are back. And we are live. Hold on. Wait a minute. Sorry for all of the crazy interactions and people are calling. If you all are calling, hold on one second. I'm trying to get my life in order here. Please, please, please do not call right now. I am live with the Haitian Belles, the one and only Haitian Belles. I see you all watching on Instagram and on Facebook. Hold on. Wait a minute. Here we go. Let's see. We have a new setup this evening. And it's a little nasty out, but okay, there we go. We are live, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are live. We are live. Welcome to the Anaya A show once again. And sorry if you hear me sniffling. It's been a long weekend, but we're going to get it together. We have the backdrop. We have everything here ready to go for this super powerful interview with the Haitian Belles. And we're going to talk to them in just a moment. But real quick, how is everybody doing this evening? Let us know wherever you are. People are calling and messaging. Please refrain from calling right now, everybody. We are live. And if you want to join our live, you can go to the Anaya A show on IG. And on Facebook, it's Anaya A period. Definitely tell a friend that you're live now and you'll be able to hear us and speak with us and interact. As you know, we always want you to ask questions and definitely be a part of the platform. It wouldn't be fair for you to be a part and watch if you couldn't ask questions. So we always want you to ask questions. And tonight, just to let you know, it's a very special show because we are speaking to two beautiful Haitian young ladies. We're gonna find out if either one of them or both of them were actually born in Haiti. So that's the surprise for tonight, because your girl Anaya doesn't even know whether or not they were born in Haiti or if they were born here. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get this interview started. But before we get this interview started, as you all know, anytime I interview anybody, I always like to read up on who they are, their achievements, the work they've done. And so we're gonna do that right now. And then we're gonna open it up to speak with Miss Madeline and Miss Paul, okay? And I hope everybody is doing well out there on tonight. So who is Miss Madeline of the Haitian Belles and also of Haiti Decoded? Madeline, it says, Madeline Maxino Guédillon, I hope I'm saying it correctly, is the administrative director and instructor at Kingsborough Community College, which is a CUNY university. Administrative director, instructor, author, and founder of Haiti Decoded. She says, I'm Madeline. My most important roles are mother and wife, an educator, and recently discovered my love for Black history. So I founded Haiti Decoded. It also says a platform dedicated to highlighting Haitian history and culture. I enjoy tackling social problems. I hold a master's in social work, and from Adelphi University, I've created policies and programs to support first-generation college students. As an administrator, I strongly believe in education, community building, and strengthening the Black family unit. That's what I'm talking about. I'm going to tell you guys in a minute how we met for sure. But again, watch, tell a friend, and share so we can definitely show these young ladies some love. And let's see, who is Miss Paul? Miss Paul Lafortune is a beautiful sister. Her name is, again, Paul Lafortune. I have worked for CUNY for the past 15 years. She doesn't look a day over 20. I've earned an Associate of Science, Bachelor of Fine Arts, and most recently a Master of Arts. Currently, I am an administrative coordinator in the Senior Vice President and Provost Office of Kingsborough Community College. In my role, I have been the principal person for ATD initiatives. We're going to find out what that is in a moment, such as the Equity series. That sounds like a series on Netflix, praise the Lord. First Generation and the Treasure Project. I also coordinate all events and activities related to the historically unprecedented Faculty and Staff Resource Center. For the past 2 years, I have served on the Black Lives Matter Teach-In Committee as part of a collaboration between the BLM Teach-In and the Diversity Symposium. I conducted a presentation of the media portrayals of Black people and co-curated an art installation, Black Historic Sites in NYC Challenge, a virtual art exhibition for the Diversity Symposium in 2020. In 2021, I presented Infusing Equity in English Composition courses at the Equity Anti-Racism Summit in collaboration with the BLM Teach In. Woo! Let's make it happen. I am so excited to have them both here. As you see, they're very involved in their community. Ladies, unmute yourselves. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Anaya A Show.
Hi, Anaya. Hi, everybody. Thank you for welcoming us. That was quite an introduction.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, it's all of your accolades. I'm just trying to share the love and let the people know who you are and just really reach out and give back. Hi, ladies.
Yeah, thank you for having us. And yes, what a warm welcome. So we're ready. Thank you.
I'm here for it. I'm ready too. And with this backdrop, okay, you know, sometimes these devices do whatever they want. I hope everybody can see. Amazing stuff. This is good. Everything is good. Listen, it's been, raining for the past couple of days. And I'm just tired of it. I don't know if you could hear, I'm a little stuffy. I sound more like Rosie Perez tonight. Okay, Kool-Aid to Rosie. Where's Rosie at? Somebody let her know I sound like her twin. Anyway, y'all, I'm a mess. Okay, so let's get right into it, ladies. As we just discussed, you have platforms of your own. You're both in the education. Let's talk about your lives and why you decided to become educators and influencers in this diverse community that you both are in, because it seems like you might have met in this space at CUNY or at this Kingsborough College. How did your love of education come together and then for you to meet? Let's start there. How did that whole thing happen?
Sure.
Take whoever wants to go first. So education, how that started off, how did you all meet, you know?
So I wasn't sure what I wanted to do when I was in college. I wasn't sure because I didn't explore my options. I knew that I didn't want to be a nurse. That's what my mom wanted me to be, but it wasn't for me. I was scared of blood, and the hospital scene just, didn't work for me. Yeah. So I did psychology at City College, and City College is known for, City College in Harlem. It's known for, it's a historic college within CUNY and in New York City. So Colin Powell is an alumni and others. And so I found a voice there, but I wasn't courageous enough to make that my major. And so I wanted to get my bachelor's degree, and then I wanted to get my master's, and I realized I love social work. And so started working for Kingsborough Community College, and as the first coordinator and then the director of the Writing Center, I saw a need to diversify in terms of how we onboard students and what's in the curriculum. So it's fine to learn about other people, right? Like, we all know like a Shakespeare, something here and there, a sonnet or one of the stories, but it's great. It's even better to learn about yourself. And so I started curating Black History events at the Writing Center and realized how much it resonated with students who were coming in, and we didn't have to torture them to come in. They just came in and we talked about Black authors, Black writers. And I realized, oh, what about us in the Caribbean, right? What about African authors? And so that's how that started for me. And I started creating events around, Black history, Women's History Month, putting in more African-American, Caribbean, and other Black folks in these events, and realized how successful it was. And I said, oh, what about my own direct lineage, right? And so I started digging into my history. And in 2018, I went to Haiti. Well, I'll keep that. I went to Haiti after a very long time, because you're trying to figure out if I was born here or not. Right. And so I fell in love with Haitian history and realized how little of it that was taught to me. And I started researching, and I'm self-taught. So my degrees are not in history. It's in psychology, writing, and social work. But I'm a natural born history lover, especially of Black history. And so I work in the Writing Center and the library. Paul works for the provost at our campus, and like energies will link up. And so And it's not far if you're Black. It's not hard. I mean, if you're Black on our campus, right?
Yeah.
So sort of, working together and just discovered that we have the same goals in life, is to educate, is to bring consciousness. And that's how our partnership took some time to develop, because our friendship took some time to develop. And we decided to create Haitian Belle. It's funny, she has her own brand and she has her own thing going on. And I saw how driven she was and how motivated. And so I asked her, I said, hey, do you mind, let's do this event on Sunday. I asked her this last year. And she said, sure. So us talking about it and kind of, coming up with ideas gave birth to this other platform.
I love it.
Called Haitian Belles. And so that came to existence, that came in existence in December 2021. So it's fairly recent. And so we decided, well, we do this separately on our campus, right? We have events. She's part of a larger community. I'm more working with, English faculty. And so we decided, well, let's take this outside of Kingsborough and let's curate our own events and let's combine our skills and our interests. And so that's how we met, and that's how this all came to be.
Love it. Love the history of it. So I know that was a lot, Paul. What did you want to add to that, sis?
The little bit that I want to add is a little bit of my journey. So I feel like my love of words and language stems from my mother. And because of that, I too did not go the nursing route.
The typical, yeah.
I tried to do physical therapy and the Lord said no. So I went right back to my original love, which was words. And in doing so, like in getting my BFA and being creative, and I love that, and creating things. But when I went to get my master's degree, I went straight for English, where it was a little less creative. And in doing so and realizing the words and the works that we were being given to dissect was not diverse, it was not indicative of my experience as a human being, I just felt like a need to find more of what I identify with, find more of my history, which I don't know, it created a little bit of anger inside of me, because I'm like, I've been in school for these amount of decades and I still have to search to learn about myself, where I can learn European history that has nothing to do for me. It does nothing for me. I not to say that I can't learn about that as well, but I should be able to see myself reflected in the works that I'm reading, that I'm dissecting, that I'm regurgitating back and forth. Like, I do not want to read about a whale anymore. I want to read about myself.
Love it.
Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely.
On this journey, and here we are.
Absolutely. It makes so much sense. And that's what I love about the concept, because if I was in the education field, I would be that person fighting for us, because I feel the same way. And I grew up listening to and watching everything on the Harlem Renaissance, for example. And Maya Angelou is one of the people that saved my life. I tried to meet her before she passed on to give her a hug and thank her. But, the closest person I could say that helped me also is, I know you guys are going to fall out when you hear this, but is Emily Michelle. So I got to give her a hug and thanked her and cried, because she was another one that helped save my life through her words and her actions, being a dark-skinned sister and just being so vocal about being a Black woman, a Haitian woman. So that's for another day. We can do a part 2 so we can talk about that. But words are powerful, and so is imagery. And when you have representation, it means everything. So take us on that journey of becoming these women that you are now, and what does that look like? Have you had struggles, and how can you motivate the community? Because people are probably listening to you how, why, when, where, because this is a huge feat that you're taking on, ladies. I'm not going to hold you. I don't know how you're doing it every day, especially in the spaces, but let's try to motivate others. Do you find it difficult daily to put these platforms together? And also, are you able to reconstruct some of the schools, I want to say schools platforms in education? Because you're both just saying, you didn't find anything related to you, right? In your learning and in your schooling and things like that. So number one, are you having a struggle with this? Because you're very passionate. But number two, how do you do it every day? Are you finding it that you can add some of your thoughts into the curriculum? That's what I'm looking for, into the platforms and the spaces at the universities.
I would say over time it has gone that way, and I think the struggle for us before was that there wasn't that space, or that space in a large sense. But now, because of the push for diversity and equity across America right now, I think more of those concepts are being talked about. So because of those conversations, that we get to put more of our input. But I'm not sure if that would be the case if that wasn't like a movement that's going around in America, where some of it is sincere and some of it is just to ride the wave.
Interesting. How about for you, Madeline?
Yeah, when I joined higher ed in 2010, I'm sorry, my kid he found me. It was a very different space. It was very different. So my experience as a student in the mid 2000s was just bland and very I had a hard time identifying with the curriculum, even though I went to a Black school that that had so many like Black scholars, like Langston Hughes, like I said, Colin Powell. These are all people who walk through the doors of City College in Harlem, in the historic Harlem. And so the curriculum was not as diverse. So when I became an administrator, and you had to fight for a seat at the table. And then we came up with this whole thing. Well, if fighting for a seat at the table to have input is a problem, we're just going to, okay, thank you. We're just going to create a new table. So at the writing, I was the director. The way we onboard students in the very beginning was just, it's just very uncultured. Something where, there are things that has to be explained to you if you're not from certain backgrounds. So there are terms and language that students did not understand. And I remember struggling with that. Like my first year in college, I was like, what is bursaw? Like, what is a bursaw? What is a registrar? These terms might as well be like foreigners to me.
Yes.
Or from me. And so my way of onboarding students that visited the Writing Center their first semester was to give them a workshop on orientation to college. Like there are some vocabulary terms you're gonna have to get familiar with. So we saw that students, took that on, and we're knowing, well, if I have trouble with my money, or where I have to make a payment, I now go to Bursaw because that was explained to me. So the way we onboarded students changed because we gave them the language, we explained it to them. It takes away your money. So if you have to pay, go there. Financial aid. What is that? So we explain things to them, things that I learned the hard way because there was no one there. And oftentimes, I'm sorry, my kid is loud. Oftentimes, you're the first one in your family to go to college. And so you are not at all familiar with these terms. So when we couldn't sit at the table per se, we created it and invited students, and that kind of just sort of changed the narrative. And students were demanding more of that. So the way we onboarded them was different. That's my impact. And I realized, I can write, thank you. I can write policies around that. And they have to listen. And so that was my role in that, in terms of making sure that, hey, you have to take on these students differently because their needs are different. They're coming from different neighborhoods where all these things that's normal to you may not be normal to them. I'm not saying that's every Black student, but if you're the first one in your family, you might not know certain terms. You might not know that, what is your GPA? There's some things that has to be explained to you. And so we created that. And I'm very proud of that work that we did for almost 7 years.
That is beautiful. I love that you all were able to identify that problem and make something happen. Now, to motivate others that may be watching, because we have a lot of leaders that watch, we have a lot of producers, we have a lot of people a number of different genres, excuse me, that watch us live and then they watch afterwards. And you'll see, like, for example, we'll have like 3 people watching now, and by the end of this, we'll have like 200 views. And it's so weird how Instagram and Facebook works, but it just happens that way. But they'll watch and then they'll want to reach out to you all later for sure. So we're gonna send your information to them and things of that nature, which we've been sharing the flyers and things of that nature. But we want to know, how can you motivate others, right, to push the agendas and to continue moving forward, even when you don't see the table, even when you don't have the table in front of you? What can you do to help others tonight to see, okay, there's a need and we're going to help you stay motivated so you can meet that need? Either of you could go first. Hi, everybody. People are watching on Instagram and sending their love and likes. And thank you, Queen Ocean, for sharing. Go ahead.
I would say sometimes it's not about like reaching high, but reaching with the people next to you, right? Because sometimes the need that you have, your colleagues have it too. So you guys can partner on maybe one meeting or one topic or patient, and that conversation can be the catalyst to the change in your institution, in your career, or just in your personal life. Just partnering with somebody for 30 minutes or scheduling meetings to create like a sisterhood or a circleship around you. It's about ally, and the allyship doesn't always have to be somebody that's ahead of you. It could be somebody that's learning to be in the same position that you are, that is just starting out, or people that are on the same level as you. But creating that allyship and that support can be the catalyst to everything else that you would like to achieve.
I love it. I love it. And well, I think Madeline is busy with her son, but that's okay. So in other words, just start, right? I like to tell people, just start. It doesn't matter how.
It took me so long to learn just start, because I got so fixated on things perfect. By the time you make it perfect to start, somebody else has already started it, and now the conversation is in a different position. So just start and life will happen.
And how about you, Miss Madeline?
So my thing is, you don't have to be great. What is it? You don't have to be great. What? Oh my God, I forgot my own quote. it's not a quote by me, it's a quote by Len. So it's that you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. And so that has always stuck with me. The first time I heard that was a couple of years ago, and it stopped me from that perfection. Like, you have to be perfect. For the longest time, I said, oh, my degrees are not in history. So how can I write about history and have a platform about Black history? Yes, I know. When my degrees are in social work and writing, and I made excuses for myself. So, and then I realized, well, if you get started, you will become an expert. If you get started with your research, if you love the information, if you love what you want, what you're doing, and you know what you want to do, you will become great at it. And so that became my quote. Whenever I got stuck, I said, okay, you don't have to be great now. By getting started and practicing and continuing and keep on at it, you're going to be great at it. That's my philosophy.
I love it. And that's the sentiments I share as well. And one thing I remembered years ago, a brother by the name of Robert Townsend. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him. He's a comedian with his own show. He said something one day, and that was like the moment that changed my life. I was like 10. I was so super young. Anyway, this brother said something to the sort of, hi, thank you everybody for watching. Hey, thank you so much. Share and let a friend know we have the Haitian Belles on with us tonight. And we are talking about education and entertainment events and all the great things that we have to do to continue to push the narrative of our beautiful Blackness. I like that. I'm going to use that later. So Robert Townsend said something many years later, and he was basically like, when he first started off, he got so many no's, and he was like encouraging the community because he said, in life, you're going to get 100 no's, but you're going to get like 99 no's, but then on that 100th time, you're going to get that yes. and all those no's would have been worth it to get that one yes. And at that time, I was like, OMG, that's a whole lot of numbers. I was so young. I was like, oh my God. And I think I had a great streak of everybody always saying yes to me until that time. So I was wondering, like, how in the hell am I going to be able to keep up with these no's? But then I found as I got older, and I matured more, that yeah, it's gonna happen, but you have to keep going. And that's why I always tell people, just start, because if you don't start, somebody else, I think Paul said it too, somebody else will start because they're gonna have the same idea as you, or they'll hear you talking about it one day and then they'll jump on it and then they'll start it, and then you're gonna feel like crap, and then they're gonna be rich and you're gonna be poor. So that's my whole analogy on that. Now, ladies, we have great support tonight. I'm so happy that the people are watching. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Tell us about like what you want the community leaders to know. One of the things I find fascinating about both of your stories is just like how you just saw the lack of, information and education in the areas that you're most intrigued in, and you wanted to learn about. How can you motivate the leaders that are listening tonight, and the politicians, or even those officials that may be watching, who can make change? Because I'm pretty sure Harlem is not necessarily the only place that has this problem, whereas we're not represented in all Black spaces. And may I just share this too? Haiti has a whole problem with this identity thing, colorism, and so many more issues. But I would like you to address the Haitian leaders as well. So we're going to address American leaders and those that are watching, community supporters that can make effective change in having more representation of us, because we're sick and tired of Shakespeare, because Shakespeare was a thing of the past. I'm not going to go into detail. And then also the Haitian leadership. Yes, Paul, look, Paul said hallelujah. Thank you. It's not like we didn't learn from you older white folks, but guess what? We have a lot of great Black influentials as well. So either one of you could take it. What do you want to share with the community leaders, those that are advocating on our behalf, or that should advocate on our behalf, and then the Haitian leadership as well?
On my end, when like the academic end of it, I feel like as well as we can learn about Shakespeare, because there's benefits there. I am not one of them that enjoyed Shakespeare much, but I do think there are people that enjoy Shakespeare and it should be studied. I do think we should be studying also Latina X writers. We should be able to study Afro writing as well. Whatever it is that you identify with, that should reflect. Like, I feel like the demographic that you're teaching, the academic works that they're being that's being used to teach them should reflect the students. Just like I feel like the staff and the educators should reflect the demographic of the students, because you have to see yourself in certain positions to believe that you can achieve those positions. Yes, we know there are Black civil engineers, but if we're not seeing them in the classroom, if we're not seeing them on TV, if we're not seeing them in everywhere that's being advertised, then how do we know that that is a legitimate dream that we can accomplish?
Ooh,
of course.
Sister, speak it.
But I think it's having the resources to be like, yes, we invented all of these things then, but look at all the work that we're doing now. Like, yes. It shouldn't be our to learn about what we're doing now. We should know what everybody else is doing now. We have all these platforms. We are all doing all this great work, not just in academics, but in science and STEM and health, and none of it is really being advertised to the great degree as it is for our counterparts. So that's just the challenge. And that's what I would challenge for our political leaders. How can we get, how do I say this? Like, the same visibility as our white counterparts when it comes to Black achievement?
Oh my God, tears of joy. Yes, you just hit the nails on the head, Hunty. Yes, and we have a Marquita Baker that says, absolutely, Hunty. I don't know if she's your friend or she's my new friend. Share Marquita, honey. She says, great advice. Thank you, boo. We are working on it. And I mean, I just want to say, look, Mr. Michael Penn says, exposure, exposure, exposure. That is what we need. And you know what, though? All jokes aside, we need to expose ourselves, like to the greater good for the future too. So we can't wait for CNN and ABC because they're not going to do it, Hunty. Hence how like myself and Miss Modeling met, you know, and we stay connected through Team ECI, our platform that we're on every week and things like that, because we have to create that table like that we were talking about moments ago. Tears of joy. Go ahead, Miss Modeling Hunty. Yes.
You know me, right?
Yes.
Paul is nice. What she said was absolutely necessary, but I'm going to go further.
Yes.
Address Haitian leaders in our in the community. So we're talking Haitian Americans. Your culture is your medicine. Someone told me that.
That's a word.
Yes.
Medicine. We're sick as Haitians. Like, look at our country. We're sick. We don't appreciate each other. We don't appreciate our culture, especially our history, because we don't know it.
That's right.
And I want my kids to know their ancestors, not just the Haitian ones, all of their ancestors. And so while I can appreciate Shakespeare, there's a time and a place, but I feel like when you get our leaders in position, they take the easy way out. They, you know, accept tokens and don't push for the changes. Yep. Don't get me started on the Black Caucus. But primary example of other communities look out for each other, right? The Asians, their own, and I'm not faulting them for that. I applaud that. I wish our community was just as solid. So I'm going to come out and say, it starts with knowing your history. It starts with pushing for legislation to make sure these Black kids know where they're from, what their ancestors did. So part of our topic on Sunday, the panel discussion is the miseducation of Black children. And predominantly in these schools, right, who get, you know, funding and get, you know, charter school. So we're discussing that. We're discussing how information about our contribution as African people have always been downplayed. And so you don't know important. You don't know what your ancestors did. I just learned at 37 that Egypt or Egyptology is a concept. It's something that was made up in 1953. That the country's name is Kemet. How many of us, you know, there are many of us who will know that, but I should have learned that at 7, not 37.
Right.
For my kids to know that much earlier. So that's where I appreciate those who really do try to just, you know, make change and push for more. But those of them who just sit back idle and just, you know, comply, I say, please consider your great-grandchildren. Push for more changes. We're not talking about like the CTR, critical race theory? Oh, bullshit. It's all nonsense. And so only because someone said it, the white grandparents who were probably the ones stopping Ruby Bridges, who's still alive, from going to school, now don't want their great-grandchildren to find out what they did. And our leaders, okay, thank you. And our leaders and our community leaders, you don't have these conversations, you know, about what they're trying to do. And so as educators, I feel like we have to be out there, not only to teach these kids, because, you know, things are left out of the curriculum more than, you know, about our information, our identity. Things are not them in terms of fundamentals. Kids can't do math, right? So you leave these things out so that way they have not a complete education. There are some things that they don't know. We know that they left financial literacy out of the curriculum. So most of us didn't know how to balance our paychecks, right? Or
we still don't, Hunty. We still don't.
Right. So I really want us to just realize how much of a problem that is. And as community leaders, those who are in office and elected to do something about it, I'm holding you more accountable than the parents who have to work 2 jobs and then come home to, you know, cook and clean and take care of their kids. You are elected to do these things. So our Haitian leaders, while I appreciate your work, what you've done so far, not to diminish on what you've done so far, but there's a lot more that needs to be done. And now is the time to do it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there's so much we still don't know, and that's super by design. But guess what? We can't use that as a crutch or as like, you know, I want, oh God, the word just was with me. We can't use it as an excuse. There you go. As an excuse or a crutch anymore because we are in 2022. So the leaders that are out there, you have to do better. But it also takes us. And Marquita, I love Miss Marquita. I don't know where she came from, but praise God. Marquita is like, each one teach one. Yes. Thank you, boo.
That's my sister from higher education. She also works in higher education. She's a pusher. She knows exactly how angry I am about these things. We talk about these things a lot. And she is also another one that pushes for more for our kids because she knows how important that is. And she raised 2 fabulous daughters. So it can be done.
And that's why we need Miss Marquita to stay in touch. So Miss Marquita and anybody else that's watching tonight, if you believe in these causes, and you know, a lot of times, I'm not going to hold you, a lot of people won't jump on the bandwagon and be a part of these conversations because they don't find the value in what we're discussing. But I bet you if I was naked and I was twerking, by the way, I'm not naked for all those that are watching on Facebook. On IG, you can see my clothing. On Facebook, I got a halter on tonight. It's hot, y'all. I'm a fat, pregnant woman. Praise the Lord, forgive me. But I'm not naked. Talk about getting on these poles and stuff. You know, if we were doing that, we would get 1,000 hits. No problem. No problem. But when we're talking about education and we're talking about change and we're talking about making history, it seems to not be the status quo because the people would rather see us do something else. But that's okay because I got something for all of them. Don't worry. We have something for all of you because there's going to be a lot more to come here on the Anaya A Show, a lot more interviews, a lot more greatness, and then we have to promote more events and businesses that are doing great things. So there will be a lot more happening, but I just hate the fact that a lot of times it's like pulling teeth with our own community. And I think that's another reason why we're always in the predicament that we're in as a people, because if it's not like alluring or if it's not, you know, captivating in a very perverse way, a lot of times, I don't want to utilize other verbiage for the little ones, but if it's not that, you won't see the great hype in it until it's too late. Hence why, you know, a lot of parents don't go to parent-teacher conferences or they don't know, you know, what's going on with their children because they're so busy following the trends. But we have to make it that it's entertaining and also captivating. And that's what I hope to accomplish here on the Anaya A Show, especially with beautiful sisters like you all who are doing this work. Remind the people about May 22nd. That's what really brought us together for this evening, although myself and Modeling are together every Wednesday night for Team ECI, where we educate you and empower you to increase your wellness, or excuse me, increase your wealth and decrease your debt. Baby brain, I forgot my own saying. Increase your wealth and decrease your debt is what Team ECI basically does every Wednesday, and we're together every week. But what is going on with May 22nd? Let's talk about that for the people.
Yes. So May 22nd, we're having our event because we're trying to create a bridge between education and real life. So we understand that some people cannot put those two things together and understand that although, yes, you may not be going to school, but the things that are happening in the school system will impact your work life. It will impact your social life. Similar to how they're discussing critical race theory. Critical race theory is something that people learn when you go for your bachelor's and you go for your master's, but right now it's all the talk, it's all the rave, it's everywhere. It's a soundbite. So with our event, we are going to be discussing the miseducation of Black students and how we can prevent or combat or, you know, like, what's the better choice word for that here right now, Madeline? She usually jumps right in when I'm start to stumble. But yeah, we're trying to find different ways so that parents can find creative ways to offset the education that their kids are getting in school. Because in the past, you would believe that the school is responsible for teaching your kids all history. But as adults, we know that that's not the case. So because we know that's not the case, what can we now do so that the next generation is well educated, so that they are well aware of their rights and they're so that when they go out into the world, they're not going into the world with their confidence broken, but well confident and having all the support behind them and knowing that they are queens, they are kings in their own right, and whatever they wish to do with their lives, they can do so with dignity.
I'm here for it. Absolutely. We have to take the bull by the horn, I like to say, for sure. Modeling and yourself, my love, May 22nd. And sorry, Michael says, such a great date to remember. And he said, proud of you, like the show and the ideas behind it. Thank you, honey. And real quick before modeling jumps in, I wanted to share, even the Anaya A show was a concept that I was like, I'm just going to go with it because I care about these topics and I hope others care about them too, because if not, I'm kind of screwed. But either way, people actually care about some of the things I care about. So this is a very nerdish moment for me, but I had to start. I just jumped in and said, somebody's going to watch and somebody's going to listen. And you know what? I didn't care if I had one person who watched and listened. Come to find out, a lot more people watched and listened. So I just wanted to share that. Thank you, Michael. And afterwards, let's have a conversation, dear. I know Mr. Michael from South Florida, and we've been cool for over a decade, it seems like. So thank you, Michael, for your support. Go ahead, Miss Modeling. May 22nd, talk to us, Sugar Dumpling.
Yes, so the important theme here, okay, thank you, is that you have to supplement, okay, I'm speaking now. Yeah, okay. You have to
He don't care about you speaking, mommy. It's his time.
You can't bribe your kids anymore. The important thing is that you have to supplement your kids' education. You can't assume that at all that they're going to get the right fundamentals. So things are left out to make sure they have an incomplete understanding of the most basic thing. So that's one. But their own history has Black kids in their own culture. You have to know that whether it's charter school, private school, public school, you have to supplement. So we're talking to parents and we have a panel, a fantastic panel, if I say so myself, right? The first person, as you know, is Dr. Magali. She is a middle school principal and has maybe 4 master's degrees and just a wealth of information, and will share insights and important things with us. The second one is I always have to say this. We have an English department of maybe about 200 individuals, some full-time, some part-time faculty.
Wow.
And is the only Black English professor on the roster. So he's been pushing to teach African American work, to choose African American authors to put them on the curriculum since 2009.
Wait, before you finish that thought, did you say 200 professors and there's only one Black?
One Black. There was another one, but he left some 4 years ago. So
he was tired of those numbers. He was like 200, 1, 2. No, we're not doing this. But go ahead. Wow, that's insane.
Currently, has been for the past 4 years since the other one left, the only Black English faculty on the English roster. And Kingsborough has a decent, Black African American Caribbean population. So to have only representation in that department hurts. So he'll be on.
Remind me, where is Kingsborough? Please, again, remind me. Isn't that in Brooklyn?
Yes, we're in.
In Brooklyn, son. Like,
we're in Manhattan Beach. So what he shares with me and how he supplemented. Actually, he wrote this book. I don't know if you all can see it.
Yes, it's hard to be a Black man in America. I got to get him on this show, ma'am. I need you to bring him onto this show.
Hey. He'll be there on Sunday, and he'll have copies of this book. And just to give you an idea of, that you must supplement your kids' education. The other person is Paul, and she's going to be speaking on the panel. The last person is a wonderful young man of Haitian descent. He is the director of programs. He used to work for CUNY, but he now has his own kind of he'll talk more about it, but he can tell you about coaching and interacting and encouraging young Black male students to push through and finish with their college education. So we have a diverse panel. I mean, from Dr. Magali to that young man and to that professor who is, like I said, the only PhD, and he's the only Black professor in the English department. So we have a lot of work to do, but I'm glad that we can come together, and those of us who have made it, like Dr. Esdale, can talk about our experiences and what he's done to supplement education and to introduce other works by Black authors and his curriculum. So if you take his class, you don't only get to learn Shakespeare, you get to know about Dr. Carter G. Woodson. You get to learn about Zora Neale Hurston, because you should know about these people. So it's a powerful conversation. We will have these individuals talk about how to supplement or share resources with parents, and just, you know, have that honest conversation. So that's one part of it. And I don't know if Paul wants to go on the second part, because Nate wants to. Paul, do you want to talk about the second part?
Also having a health and, oh, sorry guys, I didn't mean to. I apologize, I didn't mean to do that. So the second part is going to be a health and wellness presentation, because we realize not just that health is our wealth, but also that there's several layers to health. There's, you know, people do self-care, but what is self-care? There's so many layers to self-care. So we want to create exercises to get people to really understand the full circumference of health for themselves. Health in work, health in your personal life, health in yourself, and health in your relationships, your both personal and professional relationships. And all of that is like who you are as a person, how you show up in the world. So you may want to do all of these things, but if you're not healthy, if you're not mentally there, if you're not emotionally there, you're not able to do so. So, and as Modeling stated with that young man that's now coaching, the background of Dr. Esdale and him is very important, because the Black and Latino males are falling behind in every demographic when it comes to education. And it's important to understand why that is. And there are so many layers to it where it comes to like providing for themselves, providing for their family, and also the stigma that this country and certain communities have for them, so that not something that they're directed towards. And why is that? When education is always going to be a great passport that you can take anywhere. Not that you have to go to school, but whether you get some kind of training, some kind of certificate that will get you going into whatever career or field you'd like to go.
Wow, that is so deep. And you know, one of the things that I wanted to address is, let's hold our Black brothers accountable. If you're a Black man and you're watching now, understand that I know the odds are against you, but stop doing stupid stuff like shooting up the bodegas and killing people. Like, that's something that the gang life needs to stop. We need more advocacy, I think, honestly, because, you know, when you see statistics like what you ladies are sharing, and that's just a piece of the pie. Michael is a Black man, and he's like, oh my God, those figures are horrible. Like 200, you know, faculty, and you have like literally one Black. That's so staggering and so depriving, and just it messes you up psychologically, because it's like in school, I don't think I ever had a Black teacher, to be honest with you. I had a Black counselor, but growing up, and I lived in South Florida and in New York, but mostly in South Florida, never had Black male teachers. I had a few Black women, but honestly, our Black men need to be retaught, and literally they need guidance. And if you're listening out there, this is a cry for help. I'm not going to hold you. Sometimes I try to make jokes of stuff, but this is not a joke. This is sad and it's sickening. I'm going to be raising a Black young man very soon. Well, when he decides to show up in this world, and Modeling has too. I'm not sure how many Paul has or how many that are going to be watching us tonight. But come on, Black men, stand up. and try your best to help others, because we are losing so many young Black males every day. And I know the whole Hispanic thing is a thing. I'm not going to talk about the Hispanic community because, honestly, I feel like they do better than us when it comes to their young people in politics and different jobs, and they have a lot of opportunities because they stick together. So I'm talking for my Black people and the Haitian men as well. Please just become an advocate if you can, and just know that we need your voices and your face into place, because it's very hard what's happening with our young Black men. And Michael says, so true. Outreach, redirecting, exactly. And I know there's a lot of Black men that are doing it, but we just need a whole lot more, because it's very sad. And the reason why I feel too that white men and white leaders are leading the way is because they see the advantages, right, and they run with them. They don't sit around and like contemplate their next move on the streets hustling somebody. They look at the $175,000 paychecks and they're like, how do we achieve that, Billy? And they work together and then they go out there and get it. Whereas our Negroes, a lot of times they're like, oh, he got the latest Timbs on, I'm gonna rob him. That's not a life goal, sir. That's not a life goal. And it should not be a life plan, because that's going to lead you down the wrong path. But that's for part two. That's for part two, ladies, because you know me, I get a little hyped up. Okay, perfect. I think we're doing good. I'm just going to refrain from my other commentaries.
What I wanted to say is because our culture has been misappropriated. So if you listen to today's songs, it's not like it's promoting positivity all the time. There are few rappers and singers, musicians who are promoting things like, that will get you thinking and change your life. Like if you listen to Tupac and Biggie, Pac and Biggie, that was about something. Yes. That was to teach you something. Yep. That was a creative way. That was a coding, right? And if you're from that street, if you're from that culture, if you're from that background, you understand that struggle, they were speaking in codes. Yes. And if you're a stranger, you wouldn't necessarily get it, but they were rapping about being better. And it's ironic that they're both gone, right? It's just that we have to do better as a people, and knowing that we have to go back to our fundamentals and what's true to us as African people, African Americans, African, wherever you are, that at your core, you're African and you don't know yourself. You don't know your culture, you don't know your values. And so we have to go back and redefine these things. And so there are some songs that you shouldn't allow. I mean, I know your kids are going to find it or whatever, but there are some things you shouldn't encourage in your household. So some songs, some shows, you shouldn't encourage your kids to watch them. You should instead instill in them a love for reading, a love for self-knowledge. And I know these things are cliche, but that's what other cultures do. Yes. You can listen to, at some point you can listen to these songs, but not at 7, not at 12, maybe at 19, when you have like some time to, to mature in your brain. Your brain has developed a lot more, and you can decipher between the good and the bad a lot easier. But at 7, it's all impressed upon you, and some of us aren't able to make sense of it. And you know what? Somebody said it's easier to absorb the negative than to receive the positive. So you want to make sure you feed your kids positive. You want to make sure you keep as much of the negative as away from them as possible. You can't do all of it because we live in the world, but you want to make sure you police what they see, what they read, what they watch, and who they interact with. And I know that's no easy task. Believe me, that is no easy task. But it's something that we as parents have to take ownership of. And I think that's the only way we're going to see a difference in the next few generations, is if we acknowledge that we've been fed these things, right? It's too easy. In our community, they put stuff directly in there to hurt us, right? Yeah. These rap and these other things. You don't see other folks doing that. Why is it okay for us, right? They tell us what standard what to accept, what to be okay with. And we have to acknowledge that that's not working. That's hurting us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, my sister. Absolutely. Polly, did you have anything else you wanted to add before we almost wrap it up here? We've been on for an hour. It seems like 10 minutes, honey. We're doing good.
Yeah, I agree. I just wanted to thank you for having us on your platform, and also to say you are like Issa Rae. You know, they don't come to you. You create your own, and then they'll follow the wave afterwards. So congratulations. I hope it continues to grow, and thank you for having us.
Absolutely. And at this time, we want to definitely share that, the information for May 22nd, and how do people stay in touch with all of you? Because we want the community to continue to share what's going on with you, but also you impact the community by giving us like your contacts, your location for May 22nd, for example, and things of that nature. Because we could talk about all this all day and we could post about it, but the people like to hear it too. Either one of you can go ahead and go first.
So a platform called Haiti Decoded. It's literally about history. I focus a lot more on Haitian history because I believe that what our ancestors did impacted, ended the transatlantic slave trade. And we haven't gotten the credit for that. So I am big on Haitian history, but it's also a Black history platform. I talk about African history, African-American history, those of us who are in Brazil, Canada. So I talk about all our history, but so you can always find me there. So it's currently Haitian History Month. And I have a month-long 31 fabulous Haitian ladies who have made tremendous impact. Now he leaves in our community. And so I'm running that, and it's just to teach the younger folks about not only them as celebrities, but what they've done in our communities. And so you can follow me on that platform. For our event on Sunday, it is going to be at the heart of Brooklyn. Hopefully you can hear me. It's in Crown Heights, in that neighborhood. And it's 110 Rogers Avenue, and Paul, you can correct me if I'm wrong. It's a Sunday, so parking should be, Brooklyn, New York City, but it's a Sunday, so the meters are free, and parking should be relatively easier to find. So we hope you can join us. There'll be Haitian food. We are toasting our brands. So the Haitian Belles is Paul and I. Haiti Decoded is my personal brand. And Paul has her own brand, Ismion. And so we'll be toasting these brands and other supporting brands who are supporting us, and we'll be there on that day. So we'll have a champagne wall to make sure we do a proper toast. So there'll be discussions, there'll be book signing. I'm also a book author. I've written 2 children's books. So there'll be discussions, book signing, mingling, and a lot of champagne. So
awesome. Thank you. And Paul?
Yes, so I'm creating my community as we speak. So you can find me personally at being _ Paul on Instagram, and for Haitian Belles on Instagram.
I love it. And I know we have an event on May 21st as well that modeling. Now, wait. I think there's something going on with like vaccinations and things like that. Do people have to be vaccinated, or do they have to be negative to attend either event or both events, or how does that work? I know Modeling the boys are there, but let us know Paul, do they have to be vaccinated to enter your event, or how does that work?
They don't have to be vaccinated, but they will have to wear masks if they're not vaccinated. We will be following the protocol for COVID. We will have thermometers there, sanitizers as well, masks on hand for folks that forgot to bring their mask and are in need of one. So yes, we will be following.
Awesome. And I don't know if Modeling wanted to share about May 21st as well. Modeling, or?
That's an awesome event. Actually, Paul is presenting as well. So Paul and I are presenting. We have a busy weekend coming up. So it's Haitian American administrators. And it's an event from 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. In Manhattan in Rector Street. And so we're presenters, and I'm not sure about the COVID restrictions, but I'm sure because it's a well-established organization that they will follow whatever current recommendations. So we'll have masks on hand and sanitizers for everyone, because it's also a sit-down lunch style event. So having a mask makes sense.
Perfect. All righty. And again, that's the 21st and the 22nd. Well, ladies, I think we got everything. We covered everything that we had to. You all have their information now. You all know everything going on with the Haitian Belles. And we encourage you to go out, share the love, go to their events, stay in communication with them, follow them. Again, let them know you heard about their events and their platforms here on the Anaya A Show. We've been sharing for the past few weeks their flyer and their information, and we have literally a week left to go for the Haitian Belles. So I want to encourage you ladies to keep going forward, never give up on your dreams and your goals, and of course, continue to work on changing the lives of the community and the people, because that's what's really important now, that we continue to have game changers out here, but life changers as well. So I just wanted to share that with you all, and literally let's keep on going and continue to be great. And we'll see you on the next time. Thank you, ladies.
All right. Thank you, Anaya.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Good night.
We'll send out the link very soon to you both so you can have a copy for sure.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you were listening to the Anaya A Show live, and you just heard from the Haitian Belles who shared their love for making a difference in our communities. When nobody else is doing it, we have to stand up with those who literally have the gumption, who have the strength and the passion to move forward no matter what. And, you know, like I always say, just start. You cannot, you know, give up on your dreams and your goals. You cannot sit there and blame anybody else if you don't start yourself, because at the end of the day, it's all about getting yourself out there, making a difference, sharing your dreams and your visions, you know, being very protective though of your dreams and visions, because sometimes you have dream thieves and, you know, people that steal your ideas. But in order for you to move forward in life, you have to start somewhere. You have to believe in yourself. You have to make a difference, and you just have to try, right? So never give up on that. Like I said, we have a lot more to come. Makita, I love Makita. She says, Anaya A, I have enjoyed your program. God bless you. Keep up this outstanding work you are doing, educating the community. Thank you so much, Makita. We appreciate you, sister. And like I always say, like at the end of the day, it's like a lot of people don't want to just be educated and informed anymore. They would rather, you know, us, you know, do some real out of control things. And a lot of our generation is focused on like sexual things or even lustful things. And then also the drama, or in Creole, we like to call it the zen. I love zen too. Don't get me twisted. I love the zen. I love listening to the zen. I love being a part of the melee when it's not too destructive. But I also love education and positive edutainment, which is a key term that I created years ago, where I've combined education and entertainment. Because if you're edutained, then you're going to gain a lot more than just strictly entertained. So I just wanted to share that with you all. And then Wednesday, we're back with Team ECI. You can join us on Team ECI by doing the WhatsApp thing, 347-617-6873. Again, good evening, Thomas Walker. Join us on Team ECI by dialing in 347-617-6873, where you'll be able to share your ideas of increasing your wealth and decreasing your debt. We talk about different money-making platforms. We talk about, you know, stock market, crypto. We haven't been very vocal lately, but we're going to get back on top of that ASAP, God willing. If you hear me a little stuffy this evening, it's because it's been raining all weekend. I was out earlier trying to run errands, and wouldn't you know, my people, it rained again tonight. Well, this afternoonish or what have you. And the sad part is the rain was like literally 5 seconds long. It just started to drizzle. Everybody took cover and then it stopped. I'm not hating on the fact that it stopped so quickly, but it was just very intriguing. But that's kind of like the New York City thing with this weather, right? Let me just share too in closing. We have to keep the Buffalo community in prayer. As you all know, Buffalo got hit hard. Buffalo got hit super hard with, a racist bastard who came in and he shot up, I think, a supermarket, a convenience store, something of the effect. And 10 people are now deceased because of that. Racism is real. Don't let anybody fool you. A lot of times people sit there and say, oh my God, there's no such thing as the KKK. Oh my God, racism is not even a thing. And then we have a lot of people that are in interracial relationships actually that don't believe that there's something wrong with their spouse's race because they're so in love and they're so inundated with the idea of being with a white counterpart that they won't see that there's something going on out there, whereas we are under attack constantly. But don't quote me. I just know I couldn't marry you into the white race thing because honestly, I always felt like there is a lot of racism out there. This is not to hurt anybody or what have you. I'm just literally letting you know, like that was like my belief early on because it was just so much always going on, and I could feel the tension and I could feel the hate a lot of times from certain white people in white communities, and I just felt it, and I just knew that even if they say quote unquote racism is not in existence, actually it is. Tell Mayor Adams, Anaya A says, what's up? Show him my page. He knows who I am exactly. Where are you guys at? Let me know. Tell him again, Anaya A says hi. And I hope he continues to do great work in the city. If you're wondering who I'm talking to, y'all, I'm speaking with Mr. Thomas Walker, who's on my Instagram right now. And he's communicating that he is with Mayor Adams presently. I don't know where he's at. He's probably at Nan. Well, it's already almost 10 o'clock. So I'm pretty sure Nan is done right now. But if he is with him at Nan, then please send my love to the Nan family. It is Monday night. I think we covered everything, right? A lot of crime recently. Black on Black crime is what I'm really concerned about. As you can see, racist white people are like trying to kill us all. And we have to stop the racism within our own selves and our own community. So Black people, please stop hurting each other. That's my plea. Please, please, please love each other more, because if you continuously hurt each other, then why would anybody stop trying to hurt you, Black people? Like, let's stop it for real. What else? Let me know if you guys have any good news. I know this is a lot of information we shared this evening, but let's talk about the good news. So if you have anything good you want to share, let me know. As of late, I've been super busy. I'm working on this platform continuously. So I'll be sharing a lot more very soon. And last but not least, the documentary. We're still working on the documentary, putting everything together. We need your support. GoFundMe is a real thing for me. If you can support the documentary about Black women's health disparities and what we go through as Black women, especially, please send in a donation if you can to the GoFundMe. I'm going to tell you exactly what it is right now, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. But every penny counts at this point for our GoFundMe because we're working on this documentary, and we need about $50,000 between the equipment and the staff and the team, right? Because right now it seems like it's very hard, getting the help we need. But it's okay. We're going to make it happen one way or the other. I'm a strong believer in not giving up. Matter of fact, I think I could go right from here to share the screen with all of you great people. And here's my Facebook page. Wait, hold up. We got more money. Wait a minute. We got more money. Look at God. I'm going to cry. The GoFundMe has gone up. I'm literally going to cry. Oh my God, live on the Anaya A show. I haven't checked. I have not checked my GoFundMe, and I just checked. We're up to $540 on GoFundMe, and I'm going to cry. Thank you so much for those who have literally sent in support for the GoFundMe. Stevenson, you're going to make me cry. Thank you for your donation. Kelly Marnie, I love you. Thank you for your donation. I literally am just seeing this now that we got more money for GoFundMe. for our Black women's health disparity, Black women in health disparities GoFundMe. We have received 100 and a cry. So that makes me feel really, really freaking good. Wow. So I'm just going to, wow, Black women and health disparities by Anaya A. It's the Anaya A show. Oh my God, we got more money, guys. I had no idea. Thank you, ladies, for sending in your donations. As we continue to work on this platform, we're asking that everybody that's watching us, and I'm going to go on Instagram too. Oh, I can do it like this. I'm going to go on Instagram as well and share this with you. This is our GoFundMe for Instagram. And I don't know why this caps lock is on. Oh, maybe because my caps lock is on. Oh, let's turn that off. Can we turn that off? Maybe not. Okay. Okay, so here it is for GoFundMe, Black women and health disparities. And the reason why we chose this name is because we wanted to make it very short and sweet and simple. And we're going to continue to share this platform because we have to get this ball on the road. The purpose is sharing not only my story of what I went through with all doctors basically saying I could never have children. I've had miscarriages after miscarriages. I've had one issue after another in my life, and God said no more problems, and I am able to have a child now. I am 7 months pregnant. But besides that, we have other Black women that have faced the same trials and tribulations, and they are fighting and standing strong no matter what. So we've already raised $540, and this GoFundMe is to really educate and empower the community of Black women and get support and acknowledgement for the pains that they have suffered from when it comes to childbearing and the different issues that we face predominantly as Black women. So thank you again to Ms. Pat Stevenson, whom we love very much, as well as Ms. Kelly Marney. You will be getting a thank you note very shortly. This is amazing. Urban Reads is doing a great thing. Urban Reads video just posted. Listen, the time has come to an end. Look at us live on social media, still rocking it out. It's presently almost 10 p.m. and I'm so happy that we were able to do this on these beautiful ladies here. I don't know what this caps lock thing is about. I literally turned off the caps locks, but it's still on. Oh, weird. But either way, I'm so happy that the sisters came on, Miss Madeline and Miss Paul. They came on and they were a breath of fresh air, and it's such a great joy. To Makita, who was watching and sharing her commentaries, thank you as well. And to all of you who will be continuously supporting us, let's continue to work together and let's continue to share the love and share this platform with many others. We love you. We appreciate you. You were tuned in again to the Anaya A Show. And now you're listening to the one and only Consa. Felicia Ross is the artist. Love this song. Somebody let Felicia Ross know I'm playing her song every day. I hope I don't have to pay her because that will suck. And again, my voice sounds like this and I'm so nasally because I came down with like some kind of weird problem this weekend. I was in the hospital and everything. Ugh, long story. But either way, you're listening to Consta by Felicia Ross. Good night, everybody.
Other girls wanna try. They only want the song of mine. Yeah, yeah. Only took one day to put the day away. Would they touch you come back one good day? Baby, why you show my team? I let it to you. Share the kids. Ooh, till I got a woman. Baby, you can push out and you. You show me it's true. My friend, say you won't lie. Can't do anything. Say, cosa, cosa, cosa. Oh, yeah. See the way you hold it down. I know that you'll always be around. Yeah. Until I did this is my way. Con el amor de tu Makes me wanna show you love to you, love to you. Share the kiss, oh, the girl more, more shine. Let me get to you, show me it's true. When you miss my friend, say oh, you know nothing new. Let's sing in a concert, concert, oh, mountains, I always knew this love was worth it. It must be true. Could we survive together?
Good night, everybody. We love you. Thank you for tuning in.